But I think there was a challenging situation for you in Oman. Is it? What happened?
Well, so this happened actually 2 times with 2 different persons. They were not originally from Oman, but I don't know where they're from, but they lived in Oman. So yeah, I was hitchhiking and I was picked up by this guy. And he was like, yeah, I will drive you to the next village. And so from this village to the other village, it was like 1 hour. And in between, there was only desert. And then after 5 minutes, he was like, yeah, now can you kiss me? And yeah, to be honest, I don't get scared that quickly. So I wasn't scared.
Okay.
I was more like, you're making a joke out of yourself. So I told him, no, I'm not going to do that. And usually I would get out of the car, but we were in the desert and I didn't have that much water, just like 1 liter.
Mm-hmm.
And there were no cars at all. So I was like, if I get out now, then maybe I will be dehydrated
bad decision, okay.
stuck in the desert.
Then?
So yeah, I just told him like, don't ask me these kind of questions. He was kind of like, And okay, so he continued driving. And in the next village, I was like, now you can stop the car and I will get out of the car.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him like, it's really inappropriate to ask these kind of things. Yeah, I think he didn't care too much about my opinion, but yeah, so there was, yeah, I mean, it's not nice that it happens. But
of course.
For me, yeah, as long as you don't touch me, then it's not too bad for me.
Okay. So what was the second one? Was it around the same thing?
Yeah, it was kind of a similar situation.
Okay.
It was in the north of Oman, and I was picked up by a guy again. And also he started asking really inappropriate questions. Yeah, like about sexual stuff. So I told him, don't talk about this topic, please. I don't feel comfortable. And then he continued again and again and again. Yeah. And again, it was kind of a remote area. And
you couldn't get down?
Yeah.
And
so
then you had to sit in the car?
Yeah. So again, I waited until I was at a place where I could at least get some water. Okay. And then I got out. Yeah, and I can imagine if this happens to some other people, they would maybe stop hitchhiking because it doesn't feel safe.
Yeah.
But for me, I don't like to stop just because of 1 or 2 bad situations.
Okay.
Because like 99% of the time, it goes well and stuff like this doesn't happen. Yeah.
It just happened in Oman or any other place as well?
It happened one time also in Pakistan. In India, I didn't hitchhike too much, only 3 times, so it didn't happen in India.
What happened in Pakistan?
Yeah, something similar. I was in the back of a pickup truck and this guy wanted to make a selfie with me. I was like, okay, sure. And then he started touching my leg. I was like, you can take selfie, but you cannot touch me. And then he stopped. So it's good to be clear. Like if someone does something you don't like, just tell them. You can even shout if you have to. But yeah.
But did you shout any time on anybody? Did like that happen?
I didn't have to.
Okay.
No, not yet. But if I have to, I will do it. Yeah. But I feel like if you're very clear at the beginning, sometimes they are almost a bit scared.
But as a girl, how do you look at it? So because many girls will be watching this video, and they would be, because I see that solo traveling is becoming a thing now. Yeah. And especially girls, they also want to get out. They'll maybe see you as an inspiration. So when they hear stories like that, so they would even think again about hitchhiking.
Yeah.
So when, what do you do if something extreme happens? If somebody maybe touches you in the middle of a desert, how do you manage that? What do you do?
Yeah. So
you know karate?
No, I don't, but I do carry a knife always with me. And sometimes I tell them like, I carry a knife. I mean, a girl needs to protect herself, right? Yeah, but if something like that happens, well, fortunately, like nothing, it never escalated with me. But even asking me to kiss is inappropriate. I mean, I just know you for 5 minutes. You're giving me a ride. So why do you think I want to kiss you? That's just stupid. So the only thing I can say is just be very clear and don't be afraid to raise your voice to tell them to stop. Because 99% of the time, that's enough to make them stop. But what I think is because they don't meet a lot of women that are free like this, maybe, or how to put it in words. No, maybe I should say they think a lot of Western women are very open-minded, and they don't mind talking about sexual stuff or about, that kind of topics.
It's easy for them.
Yeah, so I feel like that's the reason why they talk to me about that stuff or ask me that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So then I'll just try to explain to them, like, even if I'm a Western woman, and I do talk about this topic easily, but not with you. I do that with friends or people I know, people that I feel comfortable with, not with a stranger.
Obviously.
Yeah.
What's the baddest thing that anybody can do to a foreigner, and what's the best thing that anybody can do to a foreigner?
The worst thing is, to just making someone uncomfortable. That's already in any kind of way.
Okay.
And I mean, it's different for every person what feels uncomfortable, of course. Because I feel like for me, maybe, a lot of stuff is needed to make me uncomfortable because I really don't care that much about things. But yeah, the best thing, what I really enjoy is when I'm hitchhiking or just somewhere in a village and people invite me into their homes. That's just so nice because they will give you an experience that a hotel will never give you. It's really a good way to learn a language, or sorry, not to learn a language, to learn a culture.